Dude, another week.
Let's go.
Another week in the books. We've had we got a few things in store for you today. I didn't want to take the lead on this, James.
No,
I didn't
you
know
did.
if you had something.
I thought you maybe you're getting a little used to it because of last week that I
that's
missed.
what happens when you're
And
out.
I caught
you're out.
I caught you and John's and Denny's comments about me being out, and hey, I appreciate all your good warm wishes and my speedy recovery with my liver. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, okay. All right.
Well, so we see that the liver transplant was successful.
It
That's what
was
we're saying.
healed up in a week.
There it is. This is what we do. We bring. It's almost like a Ferris Bueller style to your recovery, but it lasted a week, James. I mean, think about that.
Did you get a younger liver? Did you transplant from a younger liver?
No, all they had was like an older, more used liver. So I'm like,
right.
Next month you're back in.
Yeah, correct.
So,
Yeah.
Repeat the cycle.
Should have got an 18-year-old liver.
That wasn't available. We joked about this like a long time ago. Like if you, we told Jan, it's like if you had like you have all the black market organs and stuff like that, and I was like, what organ would that person not want from you?
Right.
And Jan's like liver
or the kidneys.
or the kidneys.
They're shot. You don't want them.
I got new knees.
It's
So it works.
Hell yeah,
it does work.
So, hey, today, Grabbing the Brisket, back again with another podcast. And we got a super awesome episode planned for you guys. And we got a special guest in the house. So we got Jon Stone from Stone Ranch. Hey, thank you for taking your time out to be in studio with us here at Grabbing the Brisket podcast. So, hey, welcome in.
Man, I really appreciate it. Appreciate it. The sad part about it is I saw the podcast last week, like always, and it was freaking exceptional. Sorry, you weren't here.
Yeah.
But the fact that Denny was here,
yeah,
those are some freaking massive shoes to. Well, she don't have that big of feet, but
but was it?
It's tough to replace her.
Is it different now that James is here? Are we missing something? Do you know what I mean? Is there something that we need to?
You're asking if we're better with James not here? Or are you asking?
I didn't want to say.
No.
I didn't.
Okay.
Listen, I didn't. No, I'm just.
I just
kidding.
hate sitting in Denny's seat. That scares
and
the
then
shit
right
out
now
of me.
you are. You're in the hot seat.
Sorry,
so,
Denny. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You're killing it already. Come on.
Can we close it down now? Might as well leave.
Yeah.
If I'm ahead, then I'm leaving now.
That's it. Just leave. Yeah. Close it off.
Hell no. You got
Boom.
to tell you about the ranch. My
Yeah.
God.
No, I know, man. This is exactly what we're about to get into is you, Stone Ranch, and really your vision for this piece of property. And talking to Denny and John the other day, I really like the fact that you talk about the acreage and you're pretty precise on what you have and whatever else. There's no overages, right? Hey, you don't have 500 acres, right? Everybody says I got 500, whatever the number is, right? I got 1,000 acres. Like, do you have 1,000? Do you have whatever? And so I like the fact that you are who you are, right? I cannot wait to get into that. But first and foremost, before we're here or while we're here, let's go and just give a big cheers real quick because we're all having some ice cold, delicious Coors Light right here. John's having whiskey and I don't know what he's on.
Curveball, baby.
Yeah,
Curveball.
Cheers to you guys, man.
Cheers,
Thank you
guys.
so much for joining us.
Yes,
Appreciate that.
All right. By the way, it's Coors Light and then Diet Coke and Big Red.
That's perfect.
So it's
It's
a
mixed.
mixture.
You
Is
said
that a
Diet
mix?
Coke and Big Red?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's
Oh,
a
okay.
money move.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
It's a
Oh, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't knock until you try it. I'm half committed.
Okay.
So I got half Diet Coke, half Big Red.
No, that's
Stick around.
Okay.
There's all sorts of crazy
Right.
ass shit.
yeah. I love that.
It's almost like the old
Hey,
suicide thing
yeah,
back in the day where we
Right.
just get a little bit of
A
everything. at the
shot of
fountain
everything.
drink.
Yeah.
Right.
I like how Corey Hubble appears as the old knee organ. He used to have my knee replaced. Oh, the old knee organ got replaced. I love that. That's great. So again, we are live. So please ask us any questions coming in. If it's barbecue, ranch related, and as we get into this, I'm sure there'll be more questions coming out for this. But
my really quick, I got a work competition chili cook-off coming up here tomorrow. This is why I'm trying to take it easy tonight because I got to get up super early to.
What does that mean, John?
Participate
she's not a
in this
professional.
competition. No, it just means I'm a professional. So
What's
I
that feel
need to.
like?
It's very grueling. It's
What's-
very.
what are you doing tomorrow?
I know. So we're work is putting on a chili competition. I think it's probably the 40th or 30th year in a row, and there's COVID's in there. They got in there, and shut that down for a little bit, but the work puts on this competition, and you win 3 days of vacation if you win first place. They do a showmanship skit type portion if you want to participate in that. Dessert too as well, but it's usually it's always funny because everybody uses up all their vacation up until the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then now they're just banking. They're just
I gotta
banking
win
on
this.
those
Like,
3
they're like,
extra
I gotta
days.
win this.
Exactly.
I need off.
Mhm.
I love that.
And they're coming up, and they do have a barf bag award too as well. So, and you do win like a 1 day of vacation if you do get the barf bag, and that's the very, very bottom of the you got last place.
Does anybody intentionally go for that?
So there are people that used to intentionally go for it, and they did away with it, but they just recently brought it back again.
How many teams?
We got 20 teams competing.
Wow.
Yeah.
20 teams, 20, like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, 3 or 4 to 5 plus a captain.
Okay. So that's quite a bit of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And I'm in the oil and gas industry. So and some of the engineering team, they'll go, lately they'll do skits and stuff like that. But I know back in the day, the engineering team would get together and they would, they would build shit. They would build like one year they built like a dragon, like a mechanical dragon.
Wow.
And I don't know if it had like smoke and whatever shooting out of it or whatever, but it was pretty impressive. And it overshadowed my Dog the Bounty Hunter outfit that I did one year. So and I
got robbed.
I got robbed. I did. My coworker, she went as Beth, and of course she had the big boobs and the wig and all that stuff like that. We looked phenomenal. We made the whatever. But the guy next to me, he dressed up as Kiss.
Oh, really?
And he played one of the Kiss songs, and he just sat there with the guitar and just like lip sync the whole thing. He won.
So it's really a talent competition.
Pretty much. Yeah.
With chili. With chili. Real quick, what's up, AP? Alex Perkins in the house. Corey Hubble says you're definitely going to need, definitely going to be in the gas industry after all that chili. So there it is. Chili with beans, chili with no beans.
No beans.
Every team member has to be an employee?
Correct.
Okay. And you bring your own trailers out there, or
really? They'll bring their own. I bring a Coleman stove.
Okay.
So they'll bring some type of contraption to be able to cook the chili.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it in. And it's usually confined to like one little 10 by 10 space.
Okay.
So drinking or no drinking?
See, last 2 years they got rid of it.
Ooh.
They used to provide kegs.
No drinking?
No drinking out there. They used to provide kegs.
Mm.
And the story that they gave us was that they now they have to hire a cop or a deputy to be there. And it was like $2 to $3 grand for them to do that.
Just do
and
what
I was
you
like,
want to
I'm
do.
not really sure if that's true or not.
Right.
Because it is private property and all that stuff. But I know there's liabilities and all that stuff in there involved with that, and they just want to get us all drunk and driving and crash car and do something stupid or whatever. But
otherwise, take the 20 teams, everybody pitches $100. There's your $2 grand, and then you hire your own cop and you can drink.
Exactly.
Done, right? And everybody probably chip in
here. Yeah.
Everybody Uber home.
My favorite times of hanging out with you, James, in history, I've always been the day of the chili cook-off was meeting you at some random bar, Houston or wherever we were, right? And I'd show up and you're half lit, and I'm like, what? Because you're not like that, right? You're not a big drinker or whatever else. And showing up and James is just half lit, and I'm looking at him and he's just, because when he's drinking, he's probably a lot more like me, just sober. You know what I mean? It's just you're more out there a little bit, right?
Yeah,
and,
I would agree. Yeah,
yeah.
More.
Say James is not a drinker. Is that what you said?
No, he's not a drinker.
I'm not.
John, what do you?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Do you know something I don't know, John?
But it
I guess
is.
I don't know James.
Yeah.
You're the only
And
one.
we won't beat
working
this
kidney.
Yeah, we won't beat this to death. But it is a cool way to get to know your coworkers. Let them get a couple of beers in them, then you find out who they are really quick.
Yeah, that's
And they're all pretty cool people.
That's exactly right.
And obviously you can sing.
Because we're live. Is that why you're doing this? Okay.
Why don't you find out who can sing? Since the Kiss guy won last time, just find out who can sing and invite that person onto your team.
Yeah,
I could do that. I always try to go for because so they have so here's the caveat: you can only win 3 days max. So if you win first place chili, that's it. You don't have to do showmanship. You don't have to do any of the other stuff. So that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
You're putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's what I was just
I
thinking.
did.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have you ever won this before?
No.
Yeah. Good luck then. Never mind. Cheers. Good chat.
It's only been going for 30 years,
Yeah,
Jim.
we're fine. Yeah. Great. Oh man. So everybody's week's been good.
Fantastic week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I just got back from South Carolina, and the more I go there, the more I just fall in love with some of the small towns and just whatever. People can't drive for shit. I'll tell you that. Like horrible drivers in South Carolina. Also, their taste buds kind of died a little bit. They're just very not bland. It's not bland at all. It's just a different style of food. I can't explain it. Everything is just missing something.
Did you try a barbecue place out there or no? Isn't
Nope.
Rodney Scott's out there? Or is he's South Carolina, right?
I don't know. I didn't try out Scott's barbecue. No.
We tried out barbecue last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go?
Out to Mimsy's.
Oh, what'd y'all think?
So damn good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So good.
What was your favorite thing on the menu? What'd you try?
Man, we tried the ribs, tried the brisket. I liked both of those. I had almost got thrown in jail just not too far prior to that.
Okay.
So that was nice to not be in jail.
Yeah, no, that's always a good thing, right?
Barbecue in general was fantastic.
That's what I'm talking
because
about.
I didn't figure jail food would be good. But
no.
Shout out to the Crockett police officer that he didn't have a real sense of humor when we met. But he
didn't take it to jail.
I know. That's when we met.
Good.
Maybe he's getting into one now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, hey.
I did it for my mom. So that's why maybe he rethought things that my little issue was because I was trying to provide for my mom. I was trying to get to a library before it closed.
Yeah.
And we were so close. And I probably, he hadn't followed me the last 30 minutes to get there. So that was good. But I kind of maybe rolled through a little bit at the very end and let him follow me a little longer than he wanted to, that he would have preferred because I was so close to the library. So
you're like the library's just right there.
Right.
Yeah, that was a minute early.
I got a past due book.
Yeah.
I got to turn it in.
Well, it closed and my mom really needed it. So I figured if I had to ride with him, she could at least, I had her into the library so she could go inside. And then if she had to bail me out of jail, that's fine. But,
right.
But thank you very much, sir, for calming down. And he had a much better, he was no sense of humor when we first met.
Jeez.
Yeah. I would imagine. Yeah.
Self-inflicted.
We got Chad Clones over here. It says, "What up, guys? When are y'all going down? What is it? What are you doing that? You hiding that? When are you going down to the do bourbon review? Dude, we're always down for bourbon review.
Yeah, send us some bourbon.
John, you got a bourbon right now you want to do?
It's not really a bourbon.
Okay,
but
it's not. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's that smoked
barbecue whiskey.
Yeah, what's it called?
Curveball.
Yeah, it's curveball.
Curveball.
No, you're exactly right, dude. We would love to do bourbons. We love bourbons. Bourbons love us. In fact, if you were to ask a bourbon, they would probably say we're the favorite people for bourbons. And yeah, so
perfect.
Chad, look for bourbons coming up soon. Denny, what's up? Hey, from Mississippi. So Denny's in the house. Okay. I didn't know they had internet in Mississippi. That's weird.
They just got it.
That is super weird. Okay. Welcome in, Mississippi.
Starlink or whatever.
Yeah.
We all miss Denny. Denny, I'm trying. Got in your seat, but thanks so much. We all miss you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we slide into some hot off the grill barbecue news?
Let's do it.
All right. I just got a couple quick things. The first one we talked about last week is the still working on that sound effect. The Awards of Excellence is happening. It opened October 1st. It's going to go till December 1st. Get all your barbecue categories, whatever you want to fill. If you got the seasonings, the sauces, the t-shirts, the podcasts, the blogs, the whatever it is.
It's anything in barbecue, right? And so this is what MBBQA does. It's an organization that promotes other barbecue companies, barbecue teams. If you're in any type of business, a food truck, it doesn't matter. That's what the MBBQA is all about. And this is one more way they just bring light to people that are out doing badass shit. You know what I mean? And so this every category, and they have a ton of categories that you're going to submit submissions to. And so you're going to have your barbecue seasonings, your barbecue your sauces, just like you were talking about, but it doesn't have to be just so one dimensional as far as like what you're cooking and whatever. It could be a podcast. It could be a
But
blog.
I think they're full up on podcast entries. Yeah, I don't think they need any more of those.
Well, you don't
or
think
media.
Pretty
or
sure we
anything.
challenged
Yeah.
you think
last
they're
week.
all
Their videos and pictures, they're
think-
all dead.
so-
They're good. It's
okay.
already they're full.
so? You heard it here
I'm just
first.
kidding.
You heard it here first, folks. They're all done with the. No, James, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please submit your entries.
Yeah. So again, it's just an organization that is out there just to spread the word of what really, really good people, good barbecue, good friendships,
Mhm.
And it's a great networking event.
And it's for a great cause too.
It
as
is.
well.
It is. And it's one of the things I look forward to every single year, multiple times a year. Anytime we get a chance to be around these guys, they're amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
If you want to enter into that,
and Janet are amazing.
they're fantastic. Favorite people in barbecue, including you guys. They're still my favorite. Just scroll down. There's a link. You guys can enter into that. It's a lot of fun. The other thing I got here is our friend Michelle. I always butcher her last name. Ogwin. Yep. She was out at the World Food Championships competing, and she got first place in live fire. And you think we got a picture of
Dude,
that? Yeah, she's putting it up there.
congratulations.
First place live fire, and she got third place in the fire woman competition. So kicked a lot.
Is
of
that her
ass.
right there?
Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's got like
Can we blow that up,
Like-
Roll, or no? How does that get bigger?
$10,000 for first place in that, and then like I don't know whatever she got for third in the other one, and then I guess her husband got 7th in seafood, and her 9-year-old got 4th in the junior category. So
Okay.
the whole family's just
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
just killing it. Yeah.
No,
that's
you,
awesome.
you're good, Roll. Yeah.
And then obviously she's going to go into that
Oh.
the head-to-head competition, the final table thing, like when we talked to Sonny
Yeah.
a few years ago.
Sonny Moody.
Yeah, so the winners of each category go against each other. That'll be sometime in the spring.
Yeah.
And that grand prize is $150K. So
Let's go, man.
I hope she wins.
I ran it-
We'll
I
get
ran
her
it-
to sponsor the show. That'll be great.
Exactly.
I ran into Sonny at the fest that we went to with the live
Other
fire.
Hondo?
Yeah, in Hondo. Yeah, it was cool catching up with her, man. She's
Yeah.
awesome. She's amazing.
Interview coming up soon.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of kicking ass, didn't y'all kick ass last weekend in your deal? I heard y'all freaking
You know,
killed it.
Oh,
John,
you brought it up,
thank you
man.
so-
We're gonna
I'm
hear about
sorry.
this shit.
Stop.
I'm
Good
sorry.
Lord. Okay, before you dive in, that's what we got for the hot off the grill barbecue
sorry.
news.
John is
Go ahead.
amazing.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, John, for bringing this up. I didn't want to listen. I'm not one to toot my own horn. I didn't want to
Please
say
tell
anything.
us about it. No, seriously, tell us.
But I
more.
want you to know it was a 24 hours of grueling, hard work, sweat equity finally paid off, right? And yeah, we came home with third place in ribs. We were 20th overall out of 48 teams. At 48, some of the best teams in Texas, to be honest with you. It's not a slouch cook-off, and I think this is a championship, a state championship qualifier or something for the ICBA. So this was a badass cook-off. Had an amazing time, and just man, I was up from Friday night all up to like 1 o'clock in the morning prepping, and by 4:30 I'm back up. I'm manning the pit, lighting fires and cooking all the way until I got home probably 8:30, 9 o'clock that night.
God,
So
that's badass.
it was amazing. James came out. I couldn't have done it without him. He was there. It was amazing. Had my family out. It's just a fantastic time.
Congratulations.
No, that was it. No, I didn't.
Nobody else there.
Never saw anybody else. I wish you could. I wish John could have made
It was
it
a great
out.
team effort. We all helped. We all pitched in. It
no.
was a lot of fun.
No, hey, Roll was out. He was one of the first smiling faces I saw, and I remember when Roll was like, "Hey, where's everybody at?" I was like, "No, it's just me." He was like, "What? No, where's what? Are you doing it by Jan? What? Jan will be drunk by 12 o'clock. There's no way he's gonna make it." Roll, I made it all the way through. Come on. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
third place. We lead it. Solitaire. What is she saying right here? What is she saying?
We need a barbecue cook-off cruise. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can light fires on a cruise
No,
ship
I
like that.
think this is something we can put together. I can actually reach out to Carnival or reach out to somebody to look about doing. I just saw there's this It's this cruise coming up, this 90s. If you grew up in the 90s type deal or
Mhm.
whatever, I don't know what they're calling that, some cruise. But anyways, We could definitely do one of those,
Mhm.
Solitaire. I like the way you're thinking.
There you go. It's in motion.
That scares me. The Derek Ham right there.
Yeah, John may
That's-
be from South Carolina.
No, Stone Construction.
Oh.
But he drives like he'd ride shotgun one day. I went to high school with Derek Ham.
I love that.
But our deal is that he doesn't talk trash about me, and I don't tell stories about him because we can both bury each other.
Derek,
So
nice.
it's way,
Be careful.
way back.
Be careful, Derek.
Yeah.
We
Podcast
got your
lasts
name.
forever.
Yeah. He
We-
sells ranches though. He does extremely well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Yeah, Denny says, sorry, we've been hanging with bison instead of cook-off. Yeah, it's fine, Denny.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
get
know?
into that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to crack open this beer for our grabbing a brisket
Beer
review?
Yeah, let's crack it open, man. Let's get it breathing. Is that what you're supposed to do with a good beer? Let it breathe?
I don't think so.
Isn't that what they say? Something about that. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Pick this one up at the HEB.
The head.
This is from 903 Brewers. I know we've done some stuff from them before. This is the Polka King of the Midwest, which I believe is from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
No, so the Polka King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Didn't
Home
he
Alone?
give Home Alone? He gave her the mom a ride back from whatever airport they were in back.
Yeah, it was the John
home.
Candy
John
character.
Candy. Yeah. Anyways, it has John Candy right there on the can. I thought it looked cool, so I don't even know what the flavor is or anything. It's a cinnamon and spice ale. So
So it says Gus Polinsky and the Kenosha Kickers. You got to say it Kenosha,
Yeah.
right? You can't say it the way that I would say it, being from Texas. Playing all their fairly well-known hits from the 1970s. That's awesome.
pairs well with Kiss Me Polka, Polka Twist, and Polka Polka Polka. Which
Polka
I think,
Polka Polka is a dynamite song. 5.8% alcohol by volume. This is there anything? Cinnamon and spice ale, man. Dude, this is going to be good.
we'll see.
This is going to be really good. All right, take a little cheers.
Cheers.
Cheersy.
Mhm.
903. Where's 903 at? Do we know that?
It's area code, James.
I want to say it's Sherman, Texas.
Man, you taste that cinnamon in there.
Yeah.
You got that
That's
right.
cool, yeah,
Yeah, it's very
absolutely.
light.
Yeah.
It's it's this is a drinker. This is a drinker right here.
Yeah,
This
usually
is-
you get those flavors, and it's going to be a really, really strong beer, real boozy. But this is pretty smooth.
Texarkana.
if
Marshall,
anything else, I'm
Tyler.
telling you right now, this could be a little more boozy. You know what I mean?
You think?
And 8% or
No, we're not-
8.5.
We're not trying to get drunk. We're just
No,
trying to.
James.
I
I'm
mean-
not talking about what we're trying to do. I'm talking about how the beer could be. And I think it could be a little stronger. I'm just saying. It's a delightful, very delightful drink. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
It's got a nice aftertaste.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's very smooth.
It's good. All right. Normally we save these barbecue fails or barbecue wins for later in the show, but let's go ahead and bust this out because it is a long one.
You don't have to. Oh, Jesus. We have 5 pages there.
It's a couple pages. It's
Just-
like, yeah. I'm
You're going to do the
just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it.
or the whole thing.
Well, it'll make more sense if I read the whole thing. I think. If I don't read the whole thing, we won't know what happened. Yeah. So let me just read it. Okay. So I had a. Can I just?
Good.
Thank you. So I had a bad fail that I thought I'd like to share. I
Who's
have
this?
Okay.
can you go
Let
back-
me go to the end first. Let me just.
Yeah,
find
tell us
out
who this
it
is.
was. Hang on. Please hold. This is Ryan Westfall, Star of Grace Barbecue.
Grace.
Star of Grace Barbecue.
Grace Barbecue. Ryan.
Star of Grace Barbecue.
Yeah, I got that. I don't. I just want
he's
to talk
not
without
the
you
Star
talking.
of Grace.
I just want to talk without you talking.
His restaurant is called Star of Grace.
I just want to say something without you saying anything.
You want to read it? I'll let you
Perfect.
read it.
No.
Okay.
Star of Grace. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Nailed it.
That's all I need
All
to
right.
say.
Perfect. Okay. I'll take over for a
Yeah.
second here. I have my own Texas craft style barbecue food truck. I run it out of something, Virginia,
Yeah.
just West Virginia. I was doing a barbecue and bluegrass festival and was totally prepared for it. Maybe too much. More of that later. I drove my trailer to my commissary to cook a lovely 20-hour smoke session. I was halfway through the brisket cook when things took a turn. Literally. I was watching my pit through my thermal signals device and started seeing my cook chamber change. The temp was crashed all the way to 160. I first went to my firebox and started throwing a couple extra logs in there, but it really didn't help. So I kept adding more and more logs. That's a no-no.
Overloaded.
It was almost 2 hours of struggling with this issue, having almost a full firebox of wood, and he says it was just roaring bonfire. Finally dawned on me that the wind was blowing so bad that the air was pushing all the heat out the firebox. So I went through a ton of wood, seeing my cook chamber dip as low as 140s at one point, and had a realization the only thing I could think of was to hook up the trailer and turn it 90 degrees, which he did. And it immediately skyrocketed up to about 400 degrees. So then he had created another problem, and he spent the next however long trying to pull wood back off the pit. He got it eventually dialed in at 225 to 250. The difficulty caused him to burn through more wood than he expected. It created a much longer cook time for his briskets. Normally cooks take about 12 hours for him. This one took 15. After he took his briskets off, he was able to cook his ribs. He then had another problem, his chicken. The chicken, he didn't have enough time basically to cook his chicken.
Yeah, he ran out of time.
Yeah, he ran out of time. So,
Damn.
where was I here? So he didn't have enough time to cook the 75 chicken thighs. This caused a huge sales loss right off the bat, about $450 and about $50 for the wasted chicken that he bought. So I was already looking at a loss of $500 before the event started. Then once I got out to the event, I found out I overestimated my cook. They said there was going to be 500 to 800 people out there for the 2 barbecue trucks. And he said it seemed like there was that many people out there, but the trucks only saw about 80 to 100 people each. So he ended the event with 6 racks of ribs, 3 briskets, 2 sheets of mac and cheese, and a pan of green beans unsold. That increased his sales loss to about $1,800 on top of the loss of the chicken. It was a horrible cook night. And then what a horrible cook that night was. And then what a horrible sales loss I took at the event. I have another public event coming up in a couple weeks. Hopefully I learned from my losses. And thanks for all you do and being enjoyable for the rest of us. Thank you. God bless. Ryan Westfall.
Man, Ryan, I just...
Sounds like a miserable
James,
cook.
what do you think? We've been there, right?
I mean, that's that's a part of it. I mean, it really, I mean, I've been, you get the reverse draw from your pit because it's blowing so hard that you're just like, but yeah, I mean, he looks like he overcame it, but just overcame it just a little too late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, yeah, but then at the end of the day, the environment didn't have, the fairgrounds he's at didn't have the amount of people, right? So they watched 80 people come in to try some food when the opportunity could have been 500 or 600 people could have tried something.
Salvaged some,
yeah. Damn.
I mean, if it's his first time being out there at that whatever that event is, it's kind of very hard. You're taking the word of somebody that's going to tell you like this is what it is. It could have been an event like, I don't know what kind of event it was, but people could have showed up already fed and just like,
that's what it sounded like.
We're just going to get snacks here.
So I tell you this and Ryan, thank you so much for sharing this, because this is what helps other people out in this community trying to do their best, right? Get their company, their brand off the ground. Listen, you did everything you could do. Obviously you ran into some issues just with the weather and but you recognized, you pivoted and you moved, which is what you got to do. But the one thing there is, I'm just off the cuff. I think about this a lot just in general, but the marketing side to this is at the end of the day, like there's nobody going to market you but you. And I feel like this is some words of advice from me is just like, don't be afraid to get in there and market as much as you can. You sell your brand, sell you, and let people show up for you, right? And that's just like, don't rely on having a gallery of people showing up to an event. You need to make it all about you, and you need to showcase what you have on social media and put yourself out there. And it's not, hey, this is the reason why you're showing up because I'm here, right? And put it out that way. I feel like maybe that probably would have been a little bit better if you had enough time to, or whatever else,
Well, the failure wasn't his barbecue.
No, not at all.
Even if it was perfect, he still didn't have they didn't have the audience.
Didn't have the audience.
You just got to do your research first.
Yep.
Before you buy all that stuff, find out what they did last year, the year before, and year before, or who else coming out. Because hell, his barbecue could have been perfect and it still would have been an issue. So.
Yeah, you still would have undersold.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Damn. Hey, Ryan,
But you're a winner today.
Yeah, what are you gonna win?
Yeah,
Ryan?
Ryan.
It's going to make up for your losses.
SUCKLEBUSTERS, SUCKLEBUSTERS. Everybody wants some SUCKLEBUSTERS. There you go, Ryan. Hey, go to SUCKLEBUSTERS.com. Pick out one of the best seasonings out there you have. I do care for the one of my favorites is Chicks That Smoke. I've never been one that hold back from that, but they've got dozens and dozens of different seasonings. Find one you like and let us know, and it'll be shipped out to you.
Yes, as well. Speaking of Chicks That Smoke, today's episode is brought to you in part by Chicks That Smoke Spicy Barbecue Seasoning. This isn't just for heat lovers. It's a versatile seasoning that elevates any dish, from smoked meats to roasted veggies, even popcorn. When you're grilling, smoking, or cooking up something in the kitchen, Chicks That Smoke adds a perfect flavor. That's fantastic on everything you use it on. Shake it on and taste the difference with Chicks That Smoke barbecue seasoning. Easy for me to say.
Hey, that's a tongue twister, John.
Wow, that was a lot.
John, it's
I
not.
probably should
do
have
you
read
think
that
it's
once
spicy?
ahead of time.
Do you think it's spicy?
No, I don't think it's that spicy. No.
Quit saying it's not spicy.
Well,
It's
that's
just-
what it's called. It's the name of it.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
know,
It's on the bottle.
but it's not spicy.
Right.
It's an all-purpose rub that should be
Yeah,
on
I said,
every.
they said right there, it's not for heat lovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just for heat lovers.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
because it's not spicy.
Right. That's
Just,
what I just said. Why are you being so
just
contradictory?
put it on your ice
It
cream.
is.
It's good.
Next time,
903 solves that issue.
It does solve it.
next time, maybe you can come up with a jingle for Chicks That Smoke.
That's why we need a few more jingles on
Yeah,
this show,
jingles.
I think. Yeah.
No.
There's Derek Walls right here. A big in a Sheboygan.
It's big in Sheboygan.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Polka King of the West.
Yeah.
We're huge in Sheboygan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's great.
Fantastic. That's good. Okay. Shall we go into our barbecue topic?
Let's get into it.
There's Amy joining in. Chicks That Smoke. Exclamation point. I'm sorry, guys. I can see it. You guys can't.
Yeah, I keep having to turn my
No,
head.
you don't
I
have
like
to.
that. Yeah.
It's
Well, I want
fine.
to. When
Yeah.
you talk about it, I want to look.
I know.
Okay.
I hear you.
All right, so we tease this long enough,
Mhm.
right? We got Jon Stone with Stone Ranch here. John, hey, I'll let you introduce the ranch and the giveaway, not the giveaway, but the raffle that you guys have come up with so
We've come
graciously.
up with,
Yes,
but John mostly has. Yes.
correct. Thanks for your correction.
He's onto that tonight. He's
Yeah.
liking to correct people tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I appreciate y'all having me. I mean, basically, John and Denny were up at the ranch, and he had an unbelievable thought when we went through. We'll go through some of the stuff that we do up there, but it's like, man, our audience, we interact with them all the time. We're all on the microphones, but we'd love to meet some of these guys here in person. I mean, you meet some of the guys,
Yeah.
at your barbecue venues and such, but I said, shit, I want to share with them, So I'm like, well, all right, hell, come on up. So my name's John. I'm basically I'm a general contractor, so I'm just a normal contractor by day, and then by night and weekends, I'm building a ranch. Started this 4 or 5 years ago, and so I'm gonna a little bit later. I'll tell you how to develop a ranch in like 2 minutes, and it takes a little longer than that. But it's a tremendous amount of fun. It's fun to share. A lot of times when we're up there, it's a high fenced ranch, and we'll have kids out there that'll just looking inside the fence. So we always make it a point whenever we're driving by, if we see kids, we're all suckers for those guys because it's just, if we're blessed enough to have something, we better freaking share it.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's too easy for
That's
somebody
right.
to take it away. So we'll open up the gates, throw the kids in the back, and take them around, and it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so the thought was that, hell, we can't bring 200,000 of your followers and friends and personal acquaintances. So let's have a raffle, and we'll get them up there. And then what we'll do is we're launching a lifestyle website at the same time. It's called heartbeatof100.com. So that's where we're selling all the raffle tickets. And but I'm going to go over the raffle with you guys here in just a few minutes, and we'll go through everything that's being offered. And Denny and John had a opportunity this weekend to see some of the stuff and interact with them. And I mean, it's everything from bongos to bison. I mean, and really it's, I'm not pissed off at the animals anymore. So, I've got a lot of the animals up there we get to interact with, we get to feed, we get to play with. And, we obviously have to manage the high fence ranch, but it's something for everybody. And,
Yeah.
I'll let you ask a couple questions real quick, but then, I'll go through the raffle. And it's up on the website, and it shows everything that we have to offer. And I can go over that now or a little bit later if you'd like. I mean, it's y'all show, so I'll tell you how to develop a ranch in 2 minutes, or I'll tell you all about the raffle, whichever one of you guys want.
No, well, I mean, probably all of it, but I get a few thoughts. Is one, you got a high fence, ranch there. So are y'all raising exotics? Are y'all raising whitetail? Or y'all?
D, all the above.
Okay.
So it's high fenced. We've got, it's part of it. We're in case that starts flooding, we're building an ark. We've got 2 bison, 2 bongo, 2 sable,
Oh, wow.
But we
Nice.
we've got whitetail up there. We've got black buck antelope. We've got axis. We've got, and obviously the whitetail, of course.
Yep.
So in fallow. And fallow is kind of an education. We're up there. Fallow coming. There's white ones. There's chocolate ones. There's spotted ones. So part of the whole tour that we go through, it kind of teaches you about the different animals. But yeah, so it's high fence. We've got exotics up there, and the 2 bison, Romeo and Juliet, they're more for conversation pieces. I've had them since they're real little bitty. So I mean,
Okay.
I won't let you guys, but I'll pet them and you can hang out with them. And the bongos will go through the list on the raffle. The bongos will go in there and we'll play with them. We feed them animal crackers. I've had buck since he's 3 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
So the sable are just gorgeous, animals are just majestic. But the whitetail are monsters. We've never brought a whitetail buck in that was less than 200 class.
Oh, wow.
So they're all monsters.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah. What inspired you to create this ranch?
Well, it's a little bit different than most. Most people, they grew up hunting and fishing and everything. So I grew up mowing grass. I didn't really have time. My dad was workaholic, so I was mowing grass because I had to follow my dad's footsteps. He went to work, I went to work. But when a little bit later in life, he unfortunately had West Nile's virus. So he had West Nile's virus and encephalitis, meningitis, had a stroke. So he wasn't really in good health. But one thing he loved was animals. So they had a place in Crockett. And I thought, well, all I really give a rip about is my folks, and making them happy. So where they were, he was not real mobile. I mean, he was in a wheelchair, et cetera. So I found a piece of dirt close to where they lived, threw a fence around it, kind of designed a ranch, started at it. And I thought, all right, if he can't come and see the animals and enjoy life, I'll take videos and pictures, so created the ranch. We'll go through that here shortly, threw some animals on it, take pictures and videos over to him. He smiles. That's all I give a damn, So
Yeah.
it's kind of it's not your typical growing up hunting and fishing. I want to have a ranch. It was like, hey, what makes my folks happy? And,
Yeah.
So that's how it started, 4 or 5 years ago.
Now it's a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody's like, well, how did you learn all this shit? And I'm like, well, you have to. And the thing is, I've always thought if somebody else can do it, I can do it, short of Einstein and, creating electricity. But, any of us, if we focus and work hard, we can create whatever we want to,
Yeah.
but what I have also learned is, since we're blessed enough to have something like that, we share, and that's the whole thing about the raffle is like, let's bring some people up there and enjoy. Everybody that's up there, all my neighbors, all people in Crockett, anybody and everybody, we invite them out there because, it's just, it puts a smile on their face. And, I take my mom's name is the Warrior Princess. I don't know if we'll have time for that story. I'll tell you some other time. But, we take her out there and hell, I took her fishing, a couple of weeks ago and she caught this big old bass. One of my good buddies works for us. His wife caught about an 8-pounder the other day. And,
Come on.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. I mean, that's just yelling and screaming. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a city girl. And she hooked onto this bass. And I mean, oh my God, it was freaking hysterical.
That's
and she
awesome.
runs all the Miss Latina, Texas. So you have this girl that's Miss Latina. She runs Miss Latina, Texas, Houston,
Reeling
Dallas,
an 8-pound
everything.
bass.
Yeah, reeling
right,
that in and
right.
just screaming like a mad woman.
That's
so
amazing.
it was just, those are the times that make it worth it.
Yeah.
You go up there and you see people and enjoy it, so, but that's how it started.
Yeah.
Is just trying to, it was a source of happiness for my folks. So
Yeah.
that's how it started. Now we get to share a lot of happiness with a lot of people.
That's awesome. Hey,
love
the heartbeat of a hunter.
Yes, sir.
How did that come about?
Well, with I created a logo. I just started scratching stuff on paper, and I was like, we call it hunter's heartbeat and heartbeat of a hunter, and it's just what makes our hearts beat,
Yeah.
And so the logo, basically it's a heartbeat going through basically a scope, because that's the target. The
Yep.
target is to enjoy life, for all outdoorsmen. So it
Mhm.
has a deer on it. It's got waterfowl and ducks. It's got a fish on it. And basically it's got the heartbeat going through it. And that's what makes our heart beat. Everybody that I talk to is like, man, if I could just be outdoors, if I could just be
Yeah.
out, even if you're not even shooting animals, you're shooting with cameras. I've got
Mhm.
so many people that come up there and they'll hang out in the blinds. We'll take them out in the buggies. And I mean, we'll feed the animals and they take pictures and it's so happy for them. And they're like, man, so that heartbeat is how we tied it all in.
Yeah.
So now we've kind of created it's a lifestyle website. It's heartbeatofahunter.com. And it has just cool stuff, and we'll add things as the years progress. But I mean, you've got your cups and some insane knives and all sorts of really neat stuff. But the whole point is that it's what makes everybody's heart beat, so you can do that. You can share it with people. And we wanted to have this raffle because I was like, man, they understood it. And, that's like, I'm waiting for you guys to come up there, I mean, to just let me know when I'm
Well,
up there.
Yeah.
So there's something, the heartbeat is something just resonates because just being a hunter or just hanging out with people that hunt and you hear the stories and you hear when people take their kids hunting and it's the excitement and it's the thrill of just being a part of that. But one thing I was saying, I was talking to a guy last weekend because opening weekend just opened up,
Yep.
and this guy at work, he was talking about this buck that come across, and he said, "Man," he goes, it was the buck, it was the buck, right?" And he goes, "And I've been waiting on this for years, right?" And he goes, "And it's here, and it's in front of me," and he goes, "I just didn't get a good angle. I could never get a good shot, good angle, and he said, he goes, Jan, he goes, my heart was running a million miles an hour. He goes, my adrenaline was so high. He goes, I was just shaking a little bit. I was like, geez, man, that's just, it's just one of those things. And I think that is synonymous there to like what it is. That's your heartbeat, just getting involved a little bit, and it's amazing. It's very cool. And I just, when I heard it from Denny the other day, I was like, oh, that's amazing. It's an amazing name.
It doesn't matter the age. I mean, if you're a
100%,
9-year-old kid
100%.
or a 90-year-old grandfather,
Yep.
you get that same adrenaline. And the thing is, when you see those animals are so gorgeous, and it's really, it's, managing animals is really how you keep them healthy. I mean,
Yep.
it's just like the bongos. The bongos, a lot of people have those because they're managing them. I mean, the Eastern bongo, there's less than 140 left in the world in the wild. The mountain bongos, there's more, but I mean, there may be 400, 500 in captivity, like zoos and ranches.
Yeah, right.
So, but it's because of those guys and us they're the ones that are helping the the animal live longer and having that species
Thrive.
on the earth.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's, in fact, I wanted to buy a female bongo. Pandemic kind of put a left turn on that deal. Like a female bongo, it's $100,000.
Mm.
So, I mean, because I wanted to
Jeez.
help, where if I can get some females out there
You're
and
like, no,
just,
we can raise them.
right, absolutely.
Right.
Well, the meeting people do
breed
it, and
'em.
then we breed them, and then you basically you'll actually take them back to Africa.
Yeah.
The mountain bongo, the Eastern bongo is, that's probably in Kenya, but there's, those animals are unfreaking believable. If you look on the raffle, we got some pictures of, we got a couple of them, and they're, like I said, we feed them animal crackers.
They're docile.
Yeah. I mean,
Like that.
they're still a wild animal, but so I mean, eventually at one point in time in this world, they can be non-docile, just like anything. I mean, just like,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, we pet them and play with them. I mean, Bucks, I've had him since he was 3 weeks old. He's more like, he's 800, 900 pounds now. So we've built an area where you can go up to him and you can feed him. We don't go in the pen with him. I mean, I will, but I mean, we don't let people go in the pen with him, but with Leaky, he's younger and he's so sweet, we'll go in there and we'll feed him. And, it's a lot of fun. I mean, the same with the bison. We've had them since they're really small. And you know,
little puppy dogs.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that. That's
you
so
know,
cool.
somebody's like, "Can I ride them?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
Once,
Right. Yeah. Until you're
once, and then we
until
go to
you're
the
gorged
ER.
to death. Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Can you share that story of how you ended up with the bongo? Because it just seems so random that you'd like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm a dog person, and I took my dog as a German Shepherd, Wolf. I took him everywhere with me. So if I went, I mean, he went to the office with me. You know, if I'd walk jobs, you know, he'd walk jobs with me. If I go buy a car, whatever, he was always with me. But when he went to be in dog heaven, you know, I was at the office on a Sunday, and I was just sitting in the office feeling sorry for myself.
I'm sorry, man.
it's hard.
So
That sucks.
you know, I was on the internet, and I saw this bongo, and it was just a little bitty orange, you know, like little, you know, looked like a little dog. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, you know what? There's my new office animal. And I was like, I'll just bring him to the office and take him around in my truck. Cause I mean, like, well, if I had him in my truck all the time, I just left it open. I left, you know, left it open, it was a diesel, and left it running all the time. If you're worried about somebody stealing your dog, it's like, hell no, there's a 125-pound German Shepherd. There's easier. But anyway, so I'm at the office, and I look at it, and it was an auction. So I kept bidding on it. I was like, he's cute, you know. I mean, and like I said, Wolf was in the office. It's an office dog, office bongo. So it made sense to me. So I was bidding on it, and then all of a sudden it said you won, and I was like, holy shit! And that's like I won, and it said,
what am I gonna do?
right,
Yeah,
but I
time
had
to
to
research.
You're right. I had to do some research because I had to pick it up in 48 hours. And they said, oh, don't worry, it comes with formula. I was like, formula how to raise a bongo? I mean, I don't have kids, but I'm sure I can figure it out, you know?
Yeah, right.
They're like, it's formula to feed him. He was 3 weeks old. It's like, oh shit. So then I put in bongo and Wikipedia or whatever, and it says goes to 800 pounds. Like, oh, that's gonna be hard to fit in my truck.
This is not going to be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lap dog.
Yeah, this is my office
Okay.
is not going to be super
Yeah.
excited about this.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I had to go to plan B and C and D. But so
Build
I
a
got
ranch.
Yeah,
I got to build a ranch.
Exactly.
I got to build a ranch.
exactly. So yeah, so anyway, I went picked it up, and I picked it up in literally a dog carrier in my truck.
Yeah.
So I was like, please don't go fast. Please don't go fast. You know, at least on the drive back, don't grow out of this damn thing. So anyway, I ended up with a bongo, and then I called a buddy of mine because I'm feeding this thing, and you have to feed it multiple times a day. And I was like, I work my ass off. How am I going to take a break 5 times a day and feed
Yeah,
him, you
right.
know? So there's a buddy of mine I went to school with, and he has like 100 kids, you know? And I was like, wonder if any of those are still in high school, because they'll be at the house, and, you know, they raise broilers and stuff like that. And I was like, man, he's got to have a couple kids still around. They've got 1 million of them. And I called him. I was like, who do you still have at the house? You know, no, he's Catholic. So, you know,
Oh, they got 1
lots of
million kids.
I was like,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's fine.
They're
And we know.
loving. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great. So
Responsible.
Absolutely.
right.
Incredible. So I said, hey, who do you still have at the house? You know, and I said, I need some help. So I shipped, you know, we shipped them down there for like a month or so for me to get this thing high fenced and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God for my dad, because I'd started this project, but I didn't know I was going to have to accelerate it so quickly. And then, so anyway, well, I was a bottle feeding fool. You know, we brought him up there, and but that was my office bongo that grew out of my truck way too fast.
I
He's
love
fast
that.
as shit too.
What's his name?
Buck.
Buck.
Super quick story on that. One of my best friends in the world, Dave Rayburn. He, you know, we were growing up. He didn't go to college. He's exceptionally successful, and he's done extremely well. But when I went to school, I brought him up there all the time so he'd see what college was like, you know. And you know, I called him Buckethead, and he called me Buckethead, and Buckethead turned into Bucket, you know, and then we turned it into Buck, and then it was Buck. So then when I got this thing, he's got a place in Crockett as well, so I named him Buck after him. So that's how the Buck came about. And then Leaky is the other one. And Leaky, for those of you that don't speak African, most people speak African. But
Sure.
if y'all don't speak African,
we do.
We're familiar.
I'm familiar, absolutely. Then Leaky, of course, you know, means little brother in African. So
Yeah.
Yep.
kind of a gimme putt. So that's why
Exactly. Yeah. Raul didn't know. I had to tell him.
Well,
Yeah.
Exactly. Help you out there. So anyway, his name's Leaky, and he's super friendly as well. So, and then the bison are Romeo and Juliet, and the sable are Bo and Luke. because that's how I learned how to drive. Well, Dukes of Hazzard and Speed Racer were the
Generally, and
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Daisy, unfortunately, around, but Bo and Luke. So that's, like I said, that's how I learned to drive.
yeah, Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, Uncle Jesse's he's a good guy. In fact, that's probably why that cop was not very fond of me. Because of the
Roscoe.
Bo and Luke.
Roscoe.
I was driving like Bo and Luke taught me. So,
I love that.
anyway, but
Love that.
Let's talk a little bit about the raffle.
okay. You want me to tell you how to develop a ranch in 2 minutes really quickly?
Let's do it.
So,
Yeah,
all right,
man.
this is it's kind of cool. I'll show it to that camera.
Yeah.
All
Put it
right.
up.
So,
Or you mean to hold it up and I'll
Well-
put it in this camera while you do your.
okay. So this is how to develop a ranch in like 2 minutes. You buy a piece of property,
So you got to go, James.
buy
There
a
it
piece
is.
of property, and it was fully had trees everywhere. So I took that piece of property that I bought and I thought, all right, how am I going to develop this thing? So I had to use a little common sense. So you basically take a topography map and take what God gave you. You're not going to defeat God, so you take what he gives you. So I looked at that and I figured out, all right, the low areas, I'm going to build a tank. So I built a 8 or 10 acre tank on one area because it's got a creek in it. And then there's another low area in one of the other pastures. So we dug a big hole. But I mean, from the design standpoint, I wanted to take a topography map and see where I could design pastures.
Yep.
So I took pastures, took a protractor out, and most people for 100 yards, it's close enough to either shoot or to take pictures or with binoculars. So I took a protractor, took a bunch of 100-yard areas, and I made sure that, if you have a blind in feeders, that you're pointing down and you're not pointing at each other. So I took whatever I could do pastures, and then the big Warrior Princess is up on the upper left. I did want to put a motorcycle track in there, but anyway, so you design all the pastures, you put some roads to connect them. Then you draw it out on the topography map, make sure you're not screwing up, design the size of your pastures and everything like that. Then you go to a timber company and ask them how much to timber that, to timber all the timber. So you're trying to recoup some of your costs, but anyway, that's by the time you get it timbered, at least you're getting it done for it's free-ish by
At cost.
Yeah,
So
at
maybe
cost.
you're probably going to pay a little bit, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right,
But
right.
yeah.
So then had them all timber those pastures. Like if I would have timbered the whole thing, then I would have made some money. But that's I wanted to do a wildlife deal. I
Sure.
wanted to manage wildlife. So I had a longer term issue. So they did that. They timbered it out. Then you bring in some track hose and dig out all the stumps. Then you work really, really hard and plant it and seed it and do that many years.
Wow.
And that's what it looks like afterwards.
Good for
But
you, man.
How many acres
But if
is
You
it?
had 2 lakes.
if you take that, if you'll hand me that stack real quick, it's kind of interesting. If you take that picture right there and then put what was in my brain, they turned out pretty darn close. I've got, that's it. So
This is what
pretty
you
close.
thought,
Yep.
right? This
Yep.
is your thought,
Yep.
and drop that.
And that's what we
That's
created.
pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's a vision right
That's
there.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool.
I've got 270 acres. The funny part is there's tons of people, like most people will say, hey, it's 700 yards, and it lays out like 700 acres. It lays out like 700 acres. But they're like, well, why don't you just say 700 acres? I'm like, because I've got 270. A lot of ranches I'll go through and they're like, hey, you got, how many acres? And everybody exaggerates. I was like, it lays out incredibly well. Like when I take you around, you'll get lost and you won't be able to figure it out because it lays out well. But I mean, hell, that's all I could afford. I mean, that's what I was doing for my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
A lot of the rich people and all those guys, you only get thousands of acres.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a freaking contractor, and I bought what I could afford, and I do what I can when I can, and you bust your ass and you share. So that's what we got, So anyway, but it's plenty to manage. There's a lot of work to some amazing animals. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, raffle. Do you want me to tell you what we got on the raffle?
Hold
Yes.
on.
Tell us.
Kendall Eel says how a Midwestern develops a ranch, sour cream, mayonnaise, garlic, onion powder,
Okay,
dill,
Kendall.
lots of black pepper, salt, and vinegar. I didn't
Ranch is a
listen,
different thing in
I
the
did not
Midwest.
listen, Kendall. We're gonna give us the measurements, give us the recipe, Kendall. We'll make your ranch. Okay, we're gonna make your ranch.
I like Kendall's idea. That ranch would have been much, much cheaper than my
Super
ranch.
easy.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot
Right.
quicker, and
Yeah.
a lot easier.
Your way is far cooler, impressive. No, it is, man. It really is. Hey, but also, Kendall, we want your recipe for that ranch. So give us the quantities.
Hey, Kendall, buy some tickets and let's hang out with the guys, and we'll cook your ranch on my ranch, or we'll make your ranch.
That's
on
what
my
I'm
ranch.
talking
That's
about. This ranch is so cool. I feel like we haven't. Yeah, I know we're gonna dive into this raffle, but there is so much cool shit to do there.
Yeah.
So like, Denny had been telling me about this ranch for a while. Like, hey, we need to go visit there. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go. It sounds cool. We're gonna do that. But when we went, holy shit, this place is freaking
Now
cool.
you're like, I need to buy
oh
some
yeah, I'm like,
land.
can I just? He's gonna be up there this weekend, right? Like, I could probably just go up and hang out with John and just like
No,
whatever.
just-
like, he's got a bass pond. He's
Anytime
got a
there's two
catfish
Johns
pond.
together that spelled the same way,
Yeah.
can't hang out
John
together.
squared. I'm just saying.
You cannot
It's
hang out.
really cool. There's
No,
so
I'm
much to
sorry.
do up there.
No.
He's got the duck blind on one of the ponds. Me and Maddox and Sissy were up there doing our fishing thing. Sissy's the first one. As soon as she throws the casted line, boom, she's got one.
Really?
I caught 5 catfish in the span of like what 30 minutes, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, it's
That's at the
it's
catfish pond.
amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
But there's a
it's-
bass pond too.
It's really, really cool. And then when you're driving around, like, especially if you head out right around dusk or whatever it was,
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're surrounded by, I'm not exaggerating, 30 deer, and there's access on whitetail and the falafel.
Oh, they're all running.
Yeah, the fallow. There's
Fallow.
30 right there next to you, but there's probably 100, 120,
Yeah.
150 in the
Yeah.
Warrior Princess field.
Yeah,
So
and you see the ones with the big, huge things, and they're just kind of sitting back there looking at you, looking all majestic. It's really freaking cool. You'll be struck. It's
Yeah.
really amazing.
yeah,
Very cool.
It's
Very
a lot of fun. All right, so what we're doing with the raffle. So the main thing on the raffle is the grand prize is you're barbecuing with the team. These guys, the people that you listen to, that you hang out with on your podcast, you get to go up there and barbecue with them, and you guys will teach them everything. I mean, I'm stoked. I bought $100 worth of tickets today because I wanted to win. And because
John, you can't win. We're not going to let you
I was
win.
gonna invite a friend, and because I want to hang out with you guys and barbecue and
You
learn.
hang out.
Yeah.
No,
Pick a weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. John won.
John,
Yeah.
John won again.
All right, fine,
Yeah.
fine. But I was
Yeah.
so excited, man.
No.
So anyway, barbecue with the team. I've got a couple pits, but I've got a huge pit that that John and Denny helped me design a year ago, and it's been hanging out at Pits by JJ for a year. I gotta go
Great
pick it
place,
up.
by the
Yeah,
way.
they built some
Great
killer
place.
stuff.
I know the guys over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I need
Yeah.
to. It even has a freaking pizza oven on it. So you can
Oh,
barbecue, and then we'll have a pizza for dessert. It sounds like a good.
That's
thing.
amazing.
So yeah.
I got a dough recipe.
Oh really?
I do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really sweet. So that's the biggest part about it. On the animal interactions, like I said, we've got deer, we've got axis, we got black buck antelope. You'll be able to a little bit further down so in the evening that he's talking about, we'll go out there and feed them. So there's different parts of the ranch. Then the Warrior Princess pasture, that's where all the animals are super friendly. So we go in there because a lot of people just love to see them. We feed them animal crackers, we feed them corn, get to interact with them, take pictures, all that neat stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Fishing, he mentioned we got a catfish pond and a bass pond. So the catfish pond, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's so many freaking catfish in there. It's like piranha. The bass pond, we have up to 12 pounders in there right now. We when we first put them in, we put the Camelot Bell strain in it, and they are ridiculous. So we have Camelot Bell. If you look them up, they're massive. They're super
Big.
aggressive. They're
Yeah.
huge. And we got another Florida strain in there. So in the bass pond, there's bluegill, there's red ear, there's fathead minnows, the typical stuff, forage fish for bass.
Yeah.
So we can, you guys, all of us will fish for catfish and bass. We'll go on the tour. Like I said, there's tons of animals that we'll hang out with. You'll be 3 feet from bison. I'll pet them, but you guys can sit there and, we'll take videos, we'll take pictures. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun. Now on the Bongo Adventure Buck, he's the big one. You know, we'll feed him animal crackers, we'll pet him and such. And then Leaky, you know, he's even more personable. We'll go in there and play with him and stuff like that. And he's, you know, he's like a dog, you know,
Yeah,
but
right.
except for a really big one.
Yeah.
And
That's
he really
great.
liked me.
That's great.
yeah, he
Did
liked him exactly.
What up? What up?
I think he might have liked me. I'm not sure.
Jeez. Yeah,
He was wearing a nice shirt.
You got a little
So,
nudge. You got a little nudge.
yeah.
Mhm.
But we'll get into so the campfires and s'mores, you know, it's an overnight stay up to 6 people.
Okay.
And we're staying at what we call the annex. So all of us will stay at what we call the cabin. And then the people that win up to 6 people, we've got a whole separate place that's called the annex. It's 3 bedrooms. It's on 3 acres. It's on a huge point on Houston County Lake. So Houston
Nice.
County Lake, they're known. They've caught 14, 15 pound bass out of there, tons of crappie, but that's your own personal place. So it's like I said, it's on 3 acres. It's on a massive point. It's got a fire
Amazing.
pit in it.
Mhm.
It's got a huge barbecue pit on it. It is off the charts, nice, comfortable,
Gorgeous.
You know, yeah, it's
enclosed porch. Like he said, the fire. He's underselling it. It's freaking
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Oh,
right,
it's
right on the
amazing.
water.
That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Heck yeah.
the entire point is waterfront. I mean,
Oh,
if
wow.
you're out there by yourself, you feel private because it's the whole point is yours.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
a dock there. You can fish off the dock and stuff like that. It depends on who wins. If you're a hunter or like to shoot rifles or like to shoot shotguns, we've got a rifle range. We've got a wobbler so we can shoot skeet. So basically whoever wins, if they've got kids, we'll focus everything around the kids. If it's just a husband and a wife or just a guy and his friends or a girl and her friends, whatever it is, we'll design it so it's
Mhm.
exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they want us to cook for them, you know, if they want the barbecue, if they want the ribs, if they want fish, whatever they want, you know, all of us will do that. As far as the activities, you know, we've got kayaks. So the people that win will tell us what their desires are, and then we'll coordinate and we'll accommodate them, you know, any way possible.
I love
So
that.
it'll be a blast.
I love that. That's good.
And then, you know, the entire time you're taking photos, you're taking videos. So basically we eat, drink, and be merry, have a blast, and just enjoy, you know, what God's put on this earth. You know,
Let's go,
it's a
man.
lot of fun. So we'd love to share. And like I said, you really just don't get the experience until you're there.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it sounds cool, but once you're there, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So-
Everything kind of slows down, right? It
yeah.
just becomes like, this is how life should be.
Right.
You know?
Well, and for kids, it's a chance in a lifetime.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
to have your pictures with your kids, and I mean, all the kids we've taken out there, they're always calling, and they'll, you know, I'll get a picture a year later. Oh my God, my kids had the best time of their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they got pictures with the bongos and the bison, and they're petting these animals. You know, not to mention the fish. You know, and like you said, you know, the joy in the kids' faces when they
Yeah.
do things like that is just unfreaking believable.
that's
So
amazing.
Mhm.
on that note, so the Heartbeat of a Hunter, that's where you go to get the raffle tickets. Stone Ranch TX, so stoneranchtx.com. That'll be, you know, we're trying to get everything ready for this. That'll probably be up within the week.
Okay.
So, and we've got pictures of a lot of what's happened, you know, over the last few years. So, you know, if you look at that website, you'll be able to see a lot of the pictures of the families and fishing and
Yeah,
and
the progression.
you know, yeah, and playing with the animals. So it's unbelievable. So that'll, like I said, it'll be today, tomorrow, within the week. We'll have that one up so you can see all the stuff. So, you know, and then we work with the Safari Club. So, you know, we donate money to the Safari Club because they're long term. They do a lot of good efforts and try to help throughout the country, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got Bongo Conservation, the Guardian, and we try to help out. So
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, you will want to come back. And
Yeah.
once you go, it is everybody that's ever gone there. Nobody, I mean, every single one of them is always, you know, hey, when can we come back? So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, just to share what we've been able to accommodate. And, you know, like I said,
I just want to say something real quick. I think, you know, obviously you've done the due diligence. You put your heart and you put your soul and you know, your heartbeat is in this ranch, right?
Absolutely.
But I really want to say I really love listening to you talk about it, because you can hear it. You can hear what it means to you, and what it is to create this and have this infectious place, because it is infectious, right? It's one of those things that you've been around, and this has been your passion, your design, and it's fruitful. It's growing fruit, and you get to see people's, you know, faces. And I think for you, it's you're watching people go, I love this, I want to come back, when can we come back? And you're just giving.
Well, and
Honestly, man,
it's
that's amazing.
it's not even my heartbeat and my excitement for myself that you
Yeah.
hear. What makes me happy in the world is putting smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I enjoy it. And I love seeing the animals, and I don't get sick of it. And it's fun to go out there and feed them and have fun. But the true return is seeing you guys' faces. It's the kids. It's when those
Yeah.
people, when they smile and their eyes light up, like you know, because most people don't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
So whenever we can help people and they go out there and they get stoked, that's the
Dude,
return. That's
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 amazing.
what I care. That's the
Yep.
part that makes me happy. I'm selfish. I'm selfish in the sense that, hell, you know what? What makes me happy is making people happy. So, and
Yeah.
I had the conversation with my dad. You know, I was like, Dad, you know, hell, what making people happy is what makes me happy. So I'm not really a nice person.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it because I'm selfish, because that's what makes me happy. He's
Yeah.
like, that's a good problem, son. You know,
Yeah,
so,
right.
you know, if that's what makes you happy,
he
is making
raised a
other
good
people
kid,
happy.
man.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's so
That was
cool.
my mom and my dad. They're unfreaking
Yeah.
believable.
Like,
So,
what are their names?
Jim and Judith. But the Warrior Princess, I don't know. We probably don't have time for the Warrior Princess story. It's a freaking unbelievable story.
Yeah,
but-
no. Let's do that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you the quick story. So the Warrior Princess is my mom. All right. So when you're up there, you'll get, and we'll try not to get teary-eyed on this yet. But anyway, there's a big pasture called the Warrior Princess.
Yep.
I'm going to skip through a lot of it, but I told you my dad wasn't in great health. So several years ago, and my dad sleeps sitting up. Okay. Because he's in a wheelchair and all that other
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
So bad guys break in the middle of the night and they break into from the front of the house. They break in the living room. My dad sleeps in the living room in the chair. They go up to my dad. They put a gun to his head. Say, "Hey, I'm gonna blow your head off. Is anybody else in this house?" My dad's not gonna give my mom up. He loves her. I've been married forever, you know. So they didn't like the answer. They took a pipe, they cracked his head open. They threw him on the ground, and they cracked his chest. He can't do anything.
Right.
His wheelchair is right freaking next to him, you know. So anyway, they made so much noise beating the hell out of my dad. That's the only good news. They made a shitload of noise beating the hell out of my dad. It woke my mom up. So my mom's in the back of the house. So she figures out, holy shit, somebody's here and they're beating the hell out of my dad. So my mom has two options. So like I said, we made their house pretty nice, you know, as far as ADA compliance, so my dad could get around the wheelchair. There's a door in the back of the house. So my mom has to figure out, all right, do I go out the door and go call for help, you know, the way it was designed, or do I grab this gun and run into the fire? So my mom, freaking badass, grabs a gun and runs into the fire.
Yeah.
So she's running down that hall, saying, "I'm going to kill you," you know, and unfortunately she wasn't able to, but you know, she ran their asses off. So my dad saved my mom's life by not giving her up. My mom saved my dad's life by
Chasing
running
them
her
out.
ass out.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
anyway, to 104 KRBE is a station here in Houston. There's a
Yep.
Rural Ryan show. It was about Mother's Day. I called in. They said, nominate your mom for Mother of the Year, you know. So I called in and they said, "Hey, I think we already have a winner. What's your story?" I told them. They put me on the air, and Rula, you know, took the call, and I told them the story. And Rula's like, "Oh my God, your mom's a warrior princess." So I told my mom the story. She ended up winning the earrings, you know, and so we've coined the warrior princess for her ever since then, you know. So she is a badass, and she's the warrior
That's
princess.
amazing.
So
That's
anyway,
cool.
that whole
Super cool.
pasture says warrior princess when you get into it. So when you see
Yeah.
it, you'll see it.
It is awesome. Yeah, she definitely is a freaking hero for sure. And your dad. if you want to get in on this raffle, because it's going to be badass. Like
Yeah,
you said,
one lucky listener of Grabbing the Brisket is going to win this. And go ahead and keep this in mind. This is for the Grabbing the Brisket listeners,
yes,
the followers.
It's gonna be
This is not
tailored.
something that's going to be
It's everybody.
broadcasted everywhere. Whatever. But
Everywhere. We're broadcasted everywhere.
And it's only in Crockett. It's 2 hours from Houston.
That's
so
it.
it's super, super close.
and this prize is going to be tailored. So yeah, like he said, if it's you and your wife and you want to bring your kids, well, we're going to make it work for that. We're going to
That's right.
cook with your kids, show them how to fish, all that kind of stuff. Or if you want to be you and your 5 buddies and go out there and we'll throw down some barbecue and get shitty drunk and jump in the catfish pond, we could do that too. We're going to make it work.
First
for you. It's
person
gonna
to
be-
catch a catfish with their hands wins $100.
100%.
I'm putting $100 up right now. If you can dive in and come out with
Does
a
that count for us
catfish-
too?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. First person to do it.
If
Right,
Hannah
right.
Barron shows up, we're screwed because Hannah Barron can do that shit. She
Oh,
noodles
yeah.
all the damn
I see
time.
that.
I
Yeah.
know. I'd love to meet her one day.
I know,
She's
man.
amazing.
Yeah.
So it's heartbeatup100.com/raffle. But we're going to put links to this down below. But we're going to put links to this everywhere. We're going to be posting about this until it's time for the drawing. So
That's right.
Stick
and it's
tuned.
only a short time. We're not running this all year. This
Nope.
is not. I mean,
It's
this
like
is
like a month maybe.
going to happen within
December
like a
15th,
month
14th.
time frame. And the event is going to be next spring, correct?
That's right.
It's up to the basically we'll coordinate schedules with whoever the winner is and you guys. And then like I said, it's only 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
So it's but yeah, so it'll be you guys schedule and whoever wins, and we'll, like I said, we'll custom coordinate it for whoever it is. And then we'll also we'll give you a little video of the annex where they'll be staying. We can put that on.
Yeah,
your
we have
podcast
a
or
ton
whatever.
of content we're going to be sharing about. So I took a
Yeah,
ton of
very good.
pictures and videos while I was there, and you guys have a lot of better quality pictures and videos that we'll share as well, just to kind of show off this thing. And maybe we'll have to go out there before then just to check it out and like do a little more
probably-
research.
probably
Just
should
to
do
some-
see what it's
We
like.
probably should do
you
some
know.
reconnaissance.
Yeah,
I
right,
think,
yeah.
yeah,
Bring
just-
Jen with us. She can
yeah.
fire it up.
JJ, the quadruple J's need to do a
Mhm.
little reconnaissance mission for sure. Yes.
My brother's name's James too, so let's be badass.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
A
it is.
John and a James and a James and a John and a Jan.
A yawn.
Jan's
Right.
oddball
Yeah.
out.
Oddball. Okay, so we are right here at the end, but we need to give a score to this Polka King of the Midwest 903
Listen, the
Brewers.
903.
It's got John Candy on it. You can't give it a bad score.
So I didn't want to go first on this one, but I think I'm going to just couldn't run.
Nobody
into
asked
this,
you to.
and I'm going to
Okay.
go. I'm giving this a 9-0.
9-0. Okay, can
This is a
I explain how our
fantastic-
scoring works real quick?
You can do
Denny-
whatever you want.
Denny told me last week. Now, is
Okay.
this my score or is this a score on a?
How you like it, okay? 5 is
Exactly.
middle of the road. Coors Light is a
Holy
5.
crap, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So 10 is perfect.
This is a
Doesn't
9
exist.
right here. This
9
is for
is
me.
Excellent. Right.
For me.
So
Excelente.
Am I up?
Yeah.
yeah, go
You're
for
up.
it.
All right. Well, I'm not typically a beer drinker.
Yeah.
I'm a Diet Coke and Big Red, but I'm gonna go 9-1 because I really like this beer.
It's a good beer.
I really do.
I like how you're
Yeah.
outdoing me right now. I
Right,
like
I mean,
this.
shit.
I mean, you got,
It's
We
not
got
right.
8-9. 8-9.
I like it. No.
Sorry, you went
Come
first.
on off the ranch and
There it is.
you can win.
Come on. Come on. Hey, don't.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm going there tonight. Come
Hey,
on, bring it.
don't think I won't show up.
Come
I
on,
will, I will
anytime.
literally. Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
we do a beer review with whoever wins this thing up there. Make
Let's
a little
go.
video. This is gonna
Excellent.
be a good time. This is fantastic. I'm glad I got the score in my head of time because you guys totally are trying to sway me to go a little bit higher, but I'm gonna go 8-3. This is a very,
It's a
very
rookie
good,
score.
very great
Very
beer.
rookie
This is
score.
a great
No,
beer.
it's like you're a novice. Like you just had beer for your
8-3.
first time.
It's an 8-3.
Yeah, I don't
This is
think
good.
so.
This is good.
But way better. Than
Like
an
you said,
8-3.
if it were a little
Hey,
higher in
if you're-
alcohol, maybe it's better, but it's very good.
If this was higher in alcohol, it'd be a 10 plus. Okay.
You can't be a 10 plus. You're just making shit up. You can't make the rules up as we go.
It's a 10 with a
I
personality.
can do
That's a
whatever
10
score I
plus.
want.
Okay.
Yes.
A 10 with a
Thank you,
personality.
John.
Oh, that's a 10
Hey,
plus.
can we get this John out? Get this John in.
Fine, I'm out of here.
So nice.
I'm
right?
done. Raul, turn his mic off.
I'm gonna jump
Hey,
in. Let me
John.
go here and close this out. I'm gonna go with solid 8.0.
Jesus, dude.
So
That's a rookie score.
that
that
is
is
a rookie
crazy.
score. I love giving rookie scores. Man, it's great beer. I don't know if I'm in the 9s, but
You're not.
It's
You're not-
You
you're not in the
just said
nines.
you're not in the
Yeah.
nines.
You're not in the 9s. You're not in the mid
8
8s.
is not a 9.
Yeah,
so
you're-
you're right.
You're not in the mid 8s either. I'll tell you that.
thanks, guys.
Hey, listen, that's a fantastic beer. I love the fact that you got some cheesy, cartoony
It
John
looks
Candy on
cool.
the side.
Yeah.
It's amazing. As you can see, I've already crunched this thing. All right. So there's that. Yeah.
Hey, I
get it
really
together.
appreciate y'all y'all invite me here. I mean, I'm glad you
John?
came up with the idea. He and Denny come up with the idea to share with the listeners. I mean, it's going to be badass.
gonna
I
be
mean,
so
I'm
fun.
looking forward to meeting
It's
some
gonna
of your
be
listeners.
amazing.
So I really appreciate the
100%, man. I cannot wait to
Yeah.
get people
we will
out
not
there.
let you down.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be amazing.
Mhm.
It's just
We are going to let you down. I mean, Jan is going to let you
No, I'm
down.
not. I'm not gonna let you down. I have an amazing dough recipe right
Right.
now that it's already in my head, and
does.
I've made this a few times. It took me almost 6 months to a year to really get this down. So, and it's truly it's a 48-hour resting period to make this dough come out the way that I really want it to come out. So I'm going to make some dough.
So
This
we're
is
doing
pizza dough,
Yeah.
by the way, not
That's
deer
right.
dough.
Yeah. So we're
That's
making
right.
pizza, brisket. Everything is on the table.
It's gonna be sick.
Yes.
Like John said, it is going to be curtailed to what you want,
Yeah.
what the listeners experience, what you want. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be
We're
amazing.
catching fish out of the catfish pond too.
Hey,
There's your $100.
Let's
Catch
go.
some bass, some
Mhm.
catfish. I'll fry it all up.
let's
It's
go.
gonna be badass.
Truly excited. Truly excited. John,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much.
Man, my pleasure.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much.
in. It's not too often that we get people coming into the podcast. Look for this podcast to be changing a little bit. Roll thinks he's going to paint the walls. I'm not sure if he is or not. We'll see. But yeah, no, we got some new digs coming up. Roll's kicking his. You're kicking ass, man. I know you're. Don't give me that side eye. I can see it over there. But no, just truly just blessed, and thank you so much for joining us. And cannot wait to just share the brand, share the love of what this means for you and just anybody else, right? Just get out there and just be outside, be outdoors, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Be the heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
Everybody go out there to heartbeatofahunter.com and buy yourself a raffle ticket like right now.
let's
Don't
go.
wait.
Let's go appreciate what God gave us, man.
Yes,
Let's all
sir.
go enjoy it.
Yep.
All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks
As
to everybody.
always, it's been great talking barbecue with you.
Peace.
As we close out, big thanks to SmokerBuilder.com and the MBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely. And cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, Sucklebusters, and Dow Strong Knives for their contributions.
And you know Yeti always has our back, and Coolie Nation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing and, of course, the Spicy Nut, the Chicks of Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.